Welcome everyone to my channel Health and Fitness. Today we are going to talk about the 7 benefits of high intensity interval training. While most people know that physical activity is healthy, it's estimated about 20% of people worldwide don't get enough of it every day. In fact, in the United States alone, the number is more like 80%. Unless you have a physical demanding job, a dedicated fitness routine is likely your best bet for getting active. However, many people feel like they don't have enough energy to exercise or enough time to exercise. If this sounds like you, maybe it's time to try high intensity interval training HIIT. HIIT is a broad term for workout that involves short period of intensity exercise allocated with recovery period. One of the biggest advantages of HIIT is that you can get maximum health benefits in minimal time. So what is high intensity interval training? HIIT involves short bursts of intense exercise alternated with low intensity recovery periods. Interestingly, it is perhaps the most time efficient way to exercise. Typically, a HIIT workout will be 10 to 30 minutes in duration. Despite how short the workout is, it can produce health benefits similar to twice as much as moderate intensity exercise. The actual activity being performed varies but can include sprinting, biking, jumping, rope, or etc. or other bodyweight exercises. For example, a HIIT workout using a stationary bike could consist of 30 seconds of cycling as fast as possible with high intensity, followed by several minutes of slow, easy cycling with low resistance. This would be considered one round or repetition of HIIT, and you would typically complete 4 to 6 reps in one workout. The specific amount of time you exercise and recover will vary based on the activity you choose and how intensely you are exercising. Regardless of how you are implemented this strategy, high intensity interval should involve short period of vigorous exercise that makes your heart rate speed up. HIIT can also produce the benefits of longer duration exercise in a much shorter amount of time, but also provide some unique benefits of health. What are the benefits of HIIT training? Number 1 benefit is HIIT can burn a lot of calories in a short amount of time. You can burn calories quickly using HIIT. One study compared that calorie burns during 30 minutes each of HIIT weighted training, biking and running. The researchers found that HIIT burns 25 to 30% more calories than the other forms of exercises in burning calories. In this study, the HIIT repetition consists of 20 seconds of maximum effort followed by 40 seconds of rest. This means that participants were actually exercising for only 1/3 of the time that the running and biking group were. Although each workout session was 30 minutes long in the study, it is common for HIIT workout to be much shorter than traditional exercise session. This is because it allows you to burn about the same amount of calories but spend less time in exercising. The second benefit of HIIT training is your metabolic rate is higher for your after HIIT exercise. One of the way HIIT helps you burn calories actually come after you have done exercising. Several studies have demonstrated that the HIIT improves ability to increase your metabolic rate for hours after exercise. Some researchers have found that HIIT increases your metabolism after exercising more so the jogging or weight training. The same study also found that HIIT could shift the body metabolism toward using fat for energy rather than carbs. The third benefit of HIIT training is HIIT can help you lose fat. Studies have shown that HIIT can help you lose fat. One review looked at the 30 experiments and 424 adults with overweight or obesity. Interestingly, found that both HIIT and traditional moderate intensity exercise can reduce belly fat and waist circumference. A range of the studies also indicated that HIIT can reduce the body fat despite a relatively short time commitment. However, like other forms of exercising, HIIT may be the most effective for fat loss in people with overweight or obesity. The fourth benefit is you might gain muscle using HIIT. In addition to helping with fat loss, it could also increase muscle mass in certain people. However, the gain in muscle mass is primarily in the muscle being used more often than in the trunk and legs. Additionally, increase in the muscle mass are more likely to occur in people who are less active to begin with. Some researchers also found that has failed to hire muscles using after HIIT program. Weightlifting continue to be gold standard of the exercising to increase muscle mass, but high intensity training could help support a small amount of muscle growth. The fifth benefit is HIIT can improve oxygen consumption. Oxygen consumption in your muscle ability to use oxygen endurance in your training is typically used to improve your oxygen consumption. Additionally, this consists of long session of continuous cycling or running at a steady rate. However, it is apparent that the HIIT can produce the same benefit in a shorter amount of time. One study found that the participants who performed 20 minutes of HIIT exercise in 4 days per week for 5 weeks improved their oxygen consumption by 9%. This is almost identical to the improvement in oxygen consumption in the other groups in the study who cycle continuously for 40 minutes per day 4 days per week. Although another study found that the 8 weeks of exercising on the stationary bike using the traditional exercise of HIIT can increase oxygen consumption by 25%. One again The total amount spent exercising was much different between groups. 120 minutes per week of traditional exercise versus 60 minutes per week of HIIT exercise. Additionally, studies also demonstrated that HIIT can improve oxygen consumption in your body. The sixth benefit is HIIT can reduce the heart rate and blood pressure. HIIT may have important health benefits as well. A large amount of research has indicated that it can reduce heart rate and blood pressure in people with overweight and obesity population in which high blood pressure is common. One study found that 8 weeks of HIIT on a stationary bike decreased blood pressure as much as additional continuous endurance training in adult with high blood pressure. In the study, the endurance training group exercised 4 days per week for 30 minutes per day, and the HIIT group exercised only 3 times per week for 20 minutes per day. Some researchers have found that the HIIT may even reduce blood pressure more than the frequent recommendation of moderate intensity exercise. However, it appears that the high intensity exercise does not typically change blood pressure in people with the normal BMI range who have normal blood pressure. The seventh benefit is HIIT can reduce blood sugar. HIIT program lasting less than 12 weeks can reduce the blood pressure. A summary of 50 studies found that HIIT not only reduce blood pressure but also improve insulin resistance more than traditional continuous exercise. Based on this information, it is possible that high intensity exercise is particularly benefits for those at risk for type 2 diabetes. In fact, some experiments, specifically in people with type 2 diabetes, have demonstrated that the effectiveness of HIIT for improving blood sugar. However, researchers in health and fitness indicated that the HIIT may also be able to improve insulin resistance even more than the traditional continuous exercises. The benefit number 8 is HIIT improves aerobic and anaerobic performance. While it is health benefits are very important, HIIT can also improve performance in both aerobic and anaerobic activities. Whether you are an athlete or weekend warrior or you just enjoy running around with your kids, HIIT training improves your performance during these tasks and just a short session